switch to a subject near and dear to my heart. Me. Because, once again, I'm in the news. And you would think it would be about something else other than what I'm in the news for. But one thing after another has appeared. I had a couple of articles that I had to pay attention to this week. And there is no way around this. So I'm going to tackle it with the fervor that it deserves and let you know what I'm thinking. The Daily Beast last week wrote the headline is Top Dem, a lot to like about Stephen A. Smith's presidential bid. That is House Minority Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, who I hope will be on this show in the very near future. Another article came out this weekend by The New Yorker. Headline, Stephen A. Smith for president. NewYorker.com. Check it out. I must admit, I got on like a lavender blazer with a lavender shirt and a purple tie. I was looking pretty fly, if I should say so myself. I just want to throw that out there. Okay?
Would he actually run as a Democrat, though? He seems like he would fit in with the moderate Republicans. He's definitely been more sympathetic to Trump lately, where he said, oh, Trump was more normal than the Democrats. So, yeah, I don't know. I could see him running as a Democrat, too.
The latest is courtesy of TMZ. Now, mind you, USA Today, Washington Post, USA, various other publications have written about this as well. Stephen A. Smith, I am not running for U.S. president. This is when TMZ caught me coming out of a Shannon Sharp's party in New Orleans during Super Bowl week. And I guess they ran this recently. And I wanted to go there because I wanted to make sure that I put this to bed once and for all. I have no intentions of running for the presidency of the United States of America. I do not believe I am an aficionado. I do not believe that my pockets are deep enough for me to ignore the financial strain that could potentially have on me, because obviously I earn more than the president of the United States right now. He makes about $400,000 a year. That position there is. Senate.
Running for president is super expensive. Yeah, he's got a point.
And congressional figures make anywhere from $170,000 to $270,000 a year. Needless to say, I make more money than that. And so I'm not really interested on that level. But here's a reason why, while being honest about having zero desire whatsoever to be a politician, because I consider them beggars, donors, campaign donations, sponsors and, political figures. And even when you get into office, you got to curry favor with politicians to get legislation pushed through and all of this other stuff. I mean, it's just no peace in my life. Plus, it's giving you a license because I'm asking to legislate the lives of 350 plus American citizens. That gives you a license to get into my personal business, that I don't want you in that. All of that's true. But there's a reason while saying what I've said and meaning it, I've often said, even in a half joking way, if the American people wanted me to be the president of the United States and I knew that I had a really, really good shot to win, I can't deny that it's something I would consider.
That actually is really relatable. If I'm being honest here, I'm like, I would never want to be president. But if there were actual polls showing people wanted me to run for president, I actually was dominating the polls, it would be like, okay, I'm so flattered that now I have to do it. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. It's something I've thought about. I mean, imagine getting so much name recognition that people, without you even being a politician, people are just like, yeah, no, I want that guy to run for president. I'd vote for him over any of these other corrupt ghouls. And I think the whole celebrity thing, with Trump being a celebrity, that's what gives people like Stephen A. Smith some extra appeal. It's like, oh yeah, let's get another celebrity involved in politics. Another celebrity president, please, with no experience in office.
Let me tell you why I say that. Because I think our system sucks. I think the binary system that we're in, where we have to choose between the Democrats or the Republicans, is a joke. I think it dissuades a vast majority of American citizens from wanting to be a part of the political process. And I think that something needs to be done about it in order to bring America back to where it should have always been. Ladies and gentlemen, I cover sports for a living. Griff, Sherry, Rashawn, everybody listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. It's very, very, very important. Because I know, like I told America before, I've got a bunch of liberals working for me. Some are closet Republicans, they don't want to admit it, but it's true. We got a bunch of liberals working for me in a whole bit. Let me be very, very clear about where I stand. Wes, you need to listen to, damn it. You got a family. Listen to me. Listen when I'm talking to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I cover sports for a living. I like competition. I want legitimate competition between the Republican and the Democratic Party over your ideas of what the country should be and how we can get it there.
That kind of seems like weird enlightened centrism, which again, that's like he could run as a Republican or a Democrat. But it's like, okay, when two ideas are competing, one of them is we want to dismantle the administrative state, fire a bunch of federal employees, ruin a bunch of people's lives, use the military on the enemy from within, American citizens. And the other is just like, oh, we'd like to expand healthcare access. We'd like to fight climate change. And it's like, okay, should there really be competition between those? One of those is a good set of ideas. The other is a horrific set of ideas. So I just don't know about this enlightened centrism bit.
I hate it when the left, because I firmly believe they politicized a whole bunch of legal stuff against Donald Trump. I'm not questioning the legitimacy or lack thereof. I don't know. You got the 11,000 votes he was seeking in Georgia. You got the 34 felony convictions he received in New York. Some people said it's hush money. Others said, what's the difference between that and an NDA? Damn it, the man cooked up with a porn star and didn't want anybody to know before the election. Oh my God, stop the presses. John Edwards got loose as a Democratic nominee or a Democratic candidate when he was running for the presidency. He didn't want people to know. I'm quite sure he would have hit it if he could have gotten away with it. Gary Edwards did the same thing. You don't think Clinton tried to submerge evidence against him with the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal? Come on. I think it was politicized to some degree anyway. And I hated that because what I was saying is beat him. Go back to the tapes. Griff, nod your head if I'm lying. I was saying beat him. Don't pussyfoot around. Don't depend on the legal system to wipe him out so you don't have to go against him in the polls. Beat him. What's one of the reasons I think he lost? I think he won because he was saying you can't beat me. You're using
that alone is not enough. You don't just say you can't beat me and then win an election.
this to get help because you can't beat me on your own. And sure enough, election day rolls around and the Democrats got their ass kicked. I don't want to hear this noise about he didn't get 50% of the vote. 49.8% he got. Kamala got 48.3. The man won 50 counties and went up in every one of them.
Well, that's true. Kamala Harris did not flip a single county over Joe Biden in his 2020 performance. But at the same time, Trump won a very, very small margin of victory in the popular vote. It's historically small. It's bigger than only two candidates within the past century who won the popular vote. So, and Democrats only bring this up to point out that he doesn't have a mandate, which, he doesn't. We're not saying he didn't win the election. He didn't have a decisive victory. He didn't win every swing state. He did win every swing state. Good for him. But there's no mandate. There's not a landslide. Don't overestimate the size of this victory.
He won all 6 or 7 swing states. The black vote, the Hispanic vote, the young voters all voted for him.
Kamala Harris won all of those. Just because he did well in them doesn't mean he won them.
He won. He won. Because we didn't want to engage in competition on the left. We were looking for the courts to help us.
That's kind of true. Okay. I mean, Kamala Harris just got anointed with the Democratic nomination. So, yeah, a little bit of a lack of competition there. I'll give him that.
Now we fast forward. And what are we saying here? I'm reading an article right here. New York Times. I'm reading it right here. New York Times. Headline: venting at Democrats and fearing Trump, liberal donors pull back cash. I'm going to read a couple.
Okay. Yeah. Well, look, there's a problem there. Pull back cash. Yeah. They do that. They do that.
Text from here for you. The small dollar online spigot that powered opposition to the first Trump administration has slowed to a trickle as shaken liberal voters withhold their donations. Charitable foundations that have long supported causes like voting rights, LGBTQ equality, and immigrants' rights are pulling back the voting time to prepare for expected investigations from the Republican-led Congress. And some of the country's biggest liberal donors, have paused giving, frustrated with what they see as Democrats' lack of vision and worried about retaliation from a vengeful president. Some Democrats say a few of their reliable donors are now openly supporting Mr. Trump, or at least looking to curry favor with him. In another paragraph, it says, while Mr. Trump has not taken action against any liberal groups or lawmakers, Democrats worry his frequent threats of retribution during the campaign have led to a chilling effect on the charitable foundations and nonprofit advocacy groups that have long been pillars of the country's civil society. Jeff Skull.
Yeah. Okay. So I can see people pulling back donations because the Democrats aren't actually fighting. Yeah. And there are a bunch of Democratic people, Democratic. I talked about Lindy Lee recently, where it's like she was a Kamala Harris voter, and she just became full MAGA. So it's like, yeah, what is going on here with this capitulation? So overall, I agree with some of the stuff he said. I disagree with some of the stuff. It would be interesting to see this guy run for president. I'm curious what his actual policy vision is because he seems like just a little obsessed with talking about like vibes and vague stuff and stuff like, oh yeah, we got to fight for competition and visions for this country. But it's like, you got to talk more about the policies you believe in. Or maybe you don't, because Trump didn't really run that much on policy. He just ran on complaining and grievances and revenge. And Stephen A. Smith doesn't seem too focused on that. But yeah, you don't want to be too unfocused on policy, because then people will think you're just acting entitled to the presidency based on the way that you act and based on vibes, and that's pretty cringe. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below about Stephen A. Smith. Should he become president? Please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. This has been The Morris, The Merrier, and I will speak to you in my next video.